Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Fiance who I've been with for almost 6 years cheated on me. OC. Need support. I don't know where to even start. We began dating about as suddenly as I met her, but the moment I laid eyes on her, I knew she was an amazing person and I wanted to be with her. The longer we were together, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, and so did she with me. After a while I started to feel as if I wasn't good enough. She is kind, beautiful, warm and loving, and I was a grumpy old me who didn't like spending time with anyone. I loved being alone, except when it came to her. Then it happened. I failed to perform in bed. It had never happened before with anyone, not with one-night stands, not with other people I had dated. I felt ashamed and as if I had failed her. Even after she reassured me that I had done nothing wrong, I kept punishing myself for it, even though it never happened again. But I still kept worrying, maybe it will happen again this time, maybe next time, and so on. Until suddenly I realized we hadn't been intimate in weeks. Now and then she made the first move and all seemed to be okay, but I never made the first move again. The stress kept building and my inadequacy kept growing in my head. About a year and a half ago, my fiance kept talking about this co-worker who was a massive asshole. Then a bit later she shared how she felt she could speak to him about anything. I thought nothing of it. I was glad she was getting along with someone after so long of feeling like an outcast at work. Then a few months later she confessed she felt as if she might have a crush on him. I felt sad but understood. I had been a bit distant and our sex life had suffered to the point we had both noticed it. I was happy because I had her but wanted to be better. During the COVID lockdowns and constant working from home made things better for a time, or so it seemed. Then our summer holidays rolled around. I had started my holidays earlier while she kept working from home. Then she tells me how she wants to go meet some old school friends in a few hours drive away during the weekend while I was helping a friend of mine with moving to his new place. I wake up Sunday morning to hear her come home all of the sudden. I was told she was going out to get a few drinks with friends, but here she was suddenly home from 2 hours drive away after a night of drinking. I was worried since she had driven home drunk. After she had slept for a few hours, she confessed she had drunk too much and had accidentally kissed one of her female friends. I was taken aback but forgave her. It was just a drunken mistake, right? Fast forward to the end of my holidays and after hers had started. She felt more distant than ever. Always visiting friends, relatives, spending time with her mother and not even coming home during the weekends while I was home alone. Then it happens. We hadn't had sex in months and she browses my social media to notice how I had liked a photo of an OnlyFans model. I had never paid or seen this account before or since, and while we both were open about the fact that we enjoy porn, sometimes together or in private, she made a massive issue about it all of the sudden. She felt betrayed and as if she was somehow not enough for me. Why would you pay women like her when you have me? Am I not enough? She thought I had replaced her with someone else and that she could no longer compete. I was dumbfounded and frightened. I thought I had wrecked our relationship with my fears of inadequacy and replacing our intimacy with pornography. After a few weeks of the situation not improving, we had a serious talk about our relationship where I confessed my feelings of feeling as if I was a failure. How I felt I was not good enough myself and how I thought maybe she is right, maybe we should take some time off, even when it was the complete opposite of what I wanted. I wanted her and no one else. We talked and agreed to stick together and both try to improve our communication and be more open about our fears and failings in our relationship. Then suddenly, after we had agreed to do better together, she lets it slip she had kissed her friend. I suddenly remembered that the co-worker she spoke of constantly lived in the same city she and her friends were supposed to meet. I asked her if she had in fact kissed him and not a girlfriend of hers, and that's why she was so spooked and drove home drunk suddenly. She confessed she had. I was shocked. All the promises I had just made felt like empty words as the rush of feeling betrayed and unloved by the person I had felt I could trust more than anyone else washed over me. I asked why she didn't tell me the truth then, and she said, "I didn't want to hurt your feelings." I lashed out in anger and took back my promise. She had made plans to spend the last week of her holiday with her mother, who lives an hour away from home. The weekend too, which I could spend with her. She would rather be without me, and now she admits she has not only had feelings but has kissed that person and God knows what else. She admitted she panicked and tried to fix the mistake by telling him the kiss had been a mistake and that they could no longer see each other anywhere outside work. I then realized she had never told me they had seen each other outside work. After hours of talking, I told her I still loved her and would try my all to forgive her if she promised me she would never do this to me again. I still do love her and I want to forgive her. But after months of being lied to and God knows how many secret meetings they have had together without my knowledge, she did admit they had. Maybe this wasn't the only time, and maybe it wasn't only a kiss after all. How would I know? She has lied before to protect my feelings, even though she is only protecting herself. I don't know why I am even writing all this down, but I needed someone to talk to about this. I feel like a failure, like I am not worth loving, like I deserved this. I want to stay together, but I don't know if I can ever trust her again. What can I do? How can I work toward forgiving her? Adults don't just kiss. You really need to understand you have about 10% of what really happened and get full disclosure before you can even consider reconciliation. From an outsider's perspective based solely on what you wrote here, this is far from the whole story. I feel this way too. Wanting to trust again but not certain the rug won't be pulled from under me again after I do. Well, first of all, you're not a failure. Stuff happens in bed that not everyone is proud of, but you just keep it moving. I think it's possible she lashed out at you for that OnlyFans pic BC. She felt bad inside and maybe wanted to just shove some stress from herself onto you. She knows what she did. I personally wouldn't continue things, but one thing is certain in this relationship: everything seems to be said way later than it should have. Everything seems to be said way later than it should have. That is almost exactly what I said and promised I would be way more open. Maybe it's too late now. Can you be okay with her not telling you everything? No. Let's assume that what she said is true. She has feelings for her co-worker, lied to you to meet with him and, at least, probably more, kissed him. If that all should be true and you truly want to save this relationship, then she has to quit her job. She can't stay close to the person she is emotionally attached to while at the same time trying to work this relationship out with you. She has to cut him out of her life before you two can focus on yourself. That means quitting her job and blocking him in every way possible. And that is only when I assume that she is telling the truth, which is not likely. You should better get a STD test done, better safe than sorry. She has said she is considering quitting, but also said she couldn't just cut off a friend, him, completely. That says it all, doesn't it? She has to quit her job and cut him off, or it will be a disaster. If I were, I'd be gone and be really careful about getting her pregnant and stuff. This isn't an environment you want your kids to grow up in. I was taken aback when her initial response was she couldn't cut him off. I told her she needs to choose which is more important, our relationship or their friendship, and how she has forced me to make me demand her to choose between the two. She did agree after thinking for a bit, but I don't know if I can trust even that. Do not run yourself down, especially in front of your fiance. She will find that extremely unattractive. If you feel you need to improve in some areas, who doesn't? Work on it. Don't worry about not being able to perform in bed that one time. It happens. If it continues to happen, go see a doctor. There are a hell of a lot of things that can be done to help in that area. Now, you don't know the whole story. Cheaters trickle truth by starting out with the claim that they only kissed. There is almost always much more, including sex. You need details and a timeline describing her relationship with the other man. When did she first meet him outside of work? What did they do? When was the next time they met? What did they do? Have her describe all their dates to be verified by a polygraph test. If she wants to save the relationship, she must go North Carolina with the other man and quit her job. Sadly, be prepared to lose your relationship. She has stepped out and has developed feelings for another man. Do you really think you can rebuild a strong foundation for a marriage after what has happened? Unlikely, especially if she is not remorseful for her actions. She is remorseful now. Especially when I lashed out initially and said I don't know how I could continue the relationship. She's not remorseful, she's just trying to salvage what's left. Hence the lie and minimization. The affair has been happening for some time, given their close approximation to one another, and meetings behind your back. It'd be stupid to buy her excuse about it being just a kiss. Affairs are taboo, it creates excitement. This wasn't some random ONS, it was built up over a period of time. This was physical, despite whatever nonsense she continues to say. Your situation isn't unique, nor is your wife an outlier. Cheaters tend to follow the same trends. If she says it was just a kiss, assume it's a lie and it was full-blown sex. Don't kid yourself into thinking otherwise, or base your decision on her lie. She's an adult who chose to make a number of decisions that went against your marriage and trust. A person like that doesn't suddenly grow a conscience because she was yelled at. She has already checked out of your relationship. Now it's up to you to play the pick-me dance and crush your own self-respect, or just move on to someone who doesn't put themselves in situations where mistakes might happen. Trust is broken. Game over, man. I always did my all to respect her and never made her feel she had a reason to be jealous. The worst part is when she initially admitted having a crush, and instead of trying to let it pass and focus on us, she did the opposite. Did he just fail the trial run and now she is settling for me? That's what it feels like. It's not really even about who she stepped out with. It could be this guy or a different guy somewhere else. Whether consciously or subconsciously, she already left what you two had. It's dead and buried. This is what I said too when she finally agreed to cut him off and find a new job. How can I trust it won't be someone else down the line? You can't save it if she doesn't want to. Does she? How can you begin to forgive and heal if you don't know what you are forgiving? Start by insisting she create a timeline. How many times did they meet, where, when? What lies did she tell you so she could meet with him? Exactly what has she done with him? Then schedule a polygraph. She says she does want to fix things and that nothing else has happened between them. I explained how could I ever believe her when she has lied about things so far to protect me. Okay, so I have commented on this before, and I hope you find it informative. But the best thing you should do is break up. Trust is gone and you'll never rebuild it in a way that you will find fulfilling. This does not mean it's over, because if she is really 100% willing to do this, you can restart. Square one, full stop. You court, you date, all the shit. It's a new relationship, one where the foundation is fresh and free of lies. But that usually doesn't work out, because the one who cheats will see it as too much work 7/10 times, which will give you the real answer to the real question. No. She's really not sorry. I feel like I could have written some of this. Your partner kissed other people. Twice. And I then realized she had never told me they had seen each other outside work. She is trickle-truthing you and will continue to trickle truth to you. Adults don't just kiss. I would not marry this person, or even be with them for that matter. As someone currently going through a situation very similar to yours, leave. It'll be hard, but she is probably not telling you everything. Please check your chat, I sent you a message. Hope that was okay. Thank you. Your relationship was failing significantly before the infidelity. It only gets more difficult afterwards. It sounds like y'all had been drifting for quite a while and now a wall has formed due to her actions. I think it's time to take a hard look and ask what is good about saving in this relationship. Love is not nearly enough to exist on. You've got to have a solid foundation. You're right. My heart hurts for you. If you are going to try to seriously work things out, I would recommend counseling both independently as well as a couple. Someone who can help you ask the big questions and guide you forward as a mediator might truly help in this situation. Thank you. If you read the same story but it was from another guy, what would you tell him? You need to step back and get away from this situation so you can get your head straight. Right now I get the feeling you don't know which way is up. You have been abused in a terrible way but are too immersed in emotional doubt and turmoil to fully see it. Get some space, and I mean physical space, until you can start thinking rationally instead of letting emotions drive you into poor decisions. I'm way too emotional to think straight right now. I know that well enough to not try and give advice to anyone, let alone someone in my situation. We are taking a small break and getting our thoughts together, but I feel so lost. The healing can't begin until the last lie has been told. Dude, you're new to this. If she wants to reconcile, tell her you need a written timeline of everything. Who? Where? Marital bed? Always use condoms? One fib and she's gone. Get tested. Yes. I kinda am. Before this, every relationship I've been in has ended before it got this serious, and the breakup was mutual. But this is different and I feel so lost. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.